sırada Yandex-Avrupa İş Geliştirme Yöneticisi Teimur Bagirov var. Teslimat ve mobilitenin geleceğini anlatmak üzere kendisini sahneye davet ediyorum.
Merhabalar.
Merhaba. Lütfen buyurun. Arzu ettiğiniz yere.
Merhaba. I will start in English, and if there will be any questions, please feel free. I will try to use my Turkish as much as I can. So yeah, I'm Teimur Bagirov. I'm representing Yandex today, and I'm responsible for the sales and business development process in the European region. So we count Turkey in region, as a European region as well. I was very happy coming yesterday from the airport this night, seeing that all of the drivers are using Yandex navigation, so it was really an honor and pleasure. So we see Turkey as a huge potential market, and we are happy that our technologies are helping in the daily life of business and people as well. So it was a nice discussion now about smart cities. So I would like to continue this topic as well. So we are here to talk about the sustainability that we can bring in the delivery process. So as the previous speaker, Büyük, mentioned, there are some challenges in the urban environment when we need to help the companies and also the consumers to make more sustainable decisions, make it in a more efficient way, because the demand is growing, and we also need to use less resources to manage the volume that is coming on the market as well. So I believe there are some people who know what Yandex is and what we are doing, but here is just a quick overview for everyone to see how the big ecosystem of Yandex is. So I was familiar with Yandex when I was still in the school time and when I had my first computer. And this was one of the first search engines that I was using. So I have a Russian background. I'm coming from Moscow. And here, during the last 30 years, Yandex was growing from a very search-oriented brand into a huge ecosystem and a huge company, which is now taking the leading positions in the European region. So you see we are now expanding across different services for the B2B and B2C life, where we have the ride and hailing and geo services, even on streaming like the Netflix and a lot of other services as well. The basic success of the e-commerce, taxi, ride hailing, e-grocery and food tech business that Yandex has is the geo services. A kind of group which we have inside the Yandex, which is fully developed in-house and helps the e-commerce and other delivery services to make the delivery experience better, more efficient, and to meet the expectations of the market and also on the consumers. So as you know, especially in the last years, and the last year also showed us that the consumer behavior changes a lot, and we need to be more flexible in this. This is how the Yandex is providing the solutions to the different players on the market. So we are now the US company listed on the NASDAQ with a huge market capitalization and with quite a lot of share, not only in the CIS region, but also in some other countries and regions as well, in the different businesses. So the topic of our discussion today was supposed to be the future of the mobility, and we come here with our answer to this, how we see it, that is based also on our research and on the communication with the partners and customers that we have, and the continuous improvement process that we have internally, and we're developing it as well. So we see that there are plenty of opportunities on the global scale to help both the consumers and customers, consumers and the business players to optimize the processes that they have. So we already have the self-driving cars, and we believe that this is also the future, and you also see it quite a lot in the media. We have the robots and the special rovers, that how we call them, for the last mile delivery in the quite complex urban environment where we need to mobilize the resources that we have. There is an automatic routing solution, which is providing the most efficient delivery and the mobility planning for the different players in the city. And this is the Yandex Navigator, which is quite heavily used across the taxi drivers in Istanbul, I believe. There are also quite high on the agenda the safety topic. So we are not talking only about hygienic measures, but also about the driver safety. So this is how we support the public sector with the different hardware and software technologies. So you can see that we are in the drivematics and the driver safety, where we develop it together with the in-house research and with the different players on the market as well. So we also would like to highlight the different delivery models that we work together with our customers with, and where we try to optimize the deliveries in that way that your daily shopping, both in the e-commerce and in the e-grocery, can be combined and delivered by the one courier. So I will explain it in a minute, but in general, what we would like to say is that the future of the mobility and the future of the delivery is to do more orders, to execute more deliveries, to make more shipments and parcels delivered to you and to the other consumers by using less resources. It's not only about the energy, but it's also about the couriers and the drivers who are executing this as well. So just going a bit deeper in the routing solution that we successfully implemented first for our own services inside the Yandex, which is the Yandex Market and e-grocery services and the food tech. And then we developed it internally and brought it to the market. So here, the target audience for us is the courier and postal companies. So we are working with different courier players like DPD and others, as well as the national postal operators in different countries, where we help them, especially in their kind of maybe challenging structure and the old-fashioned structure that they have internally, to make a change in their processes and make the digital transformation happen. So the next focus group in our case is the FMCG players, which are also including apparel and fashion, where we need to distribute it across the stores and help them to do it in most efficient way because of the daily traffic into the city. And last but not least is the e-grocery and the e-commerce market, who have their own last mile delivery, and they are trying to adapt to the changing consumer behavior. Here, it starts with the 15 minutes on-demand delivery, which most of you are using at the moment, till the same day and next day planning, which should be done in a quite fast way and in the most efficient way to execute it in having the less resources and make it affordable to each of the customers. So during the COVID time in particular, we have seen that there is a huge rise in terms of the volume, in terms of the number of orders that people are doing, because everybody was staying at home. At the same time, there was a huge lack of the drivers who were executing the orders, but the demand from the customer was not only growing, but also was changing. So they still didn't, the next day, for example, delivery was not an option. So that's why we've seen a lot of players on the arena who are delivering in 10 and 15 minutes. So there are a number of the market players with whom we are already working this and successfully implemented our solutions. And we see a positive results with the reduction of the costs, with the reduction of the mileage that the couriers are driving and the resources that they are using, and especially the time that they are using for the planning as well. Just want to share with you the case we have internally in our organization for the service, the Yandex Market, which is the huge e-commerce marketplace platform in the CIS region, where we support them with a last mile. So this is the option to have the last mile delivery provided by themselves with the outsourced couriers. I also see that this quite a lot in Europe, where due to the lack of drivers, the drivers are even coming from another countries and they are not familiar with the city. So that adds additional kilometers that they are driving until they find the right address. So here we are supporting them with route planning, where they can simply just give it to any driver who is not familiar with the city and who can execute the order and make delivery happen. So the challenge of the business was the scalability and the increasing number of orders and the accuracy of the delivery, because the demand from the consumer is changing quite fast, and so everybody is actually fighting now for the customer, and they would like to have the best customer experience for them. And the consumer journey changes a lot, so that's why the promised delivery time is the key in this particular situation. So you see a different feedback also from the partners that we have, and the timeline, how we implemented the solution in quite a short way. And it also brought already a number of the positive, not only the numbers in the EBIT that they have internally, but also the consumer feedback, which is results in the number of orders that they receive. So just briefly about the solution itself, so how we see the urban logistics mobility and how we help the customers to execute it. So we try to do it in kind of two components, helping them not only to plan the routes and to execute them as well, like you have it for the taxi, for example, when you already know the route and you know the destination and the time when you will arrive. But you also would like to track it and to understand when are you going in this particular moment and what is ahead of you. So there are two components, which is the planning and the monitoring of the delivery process. And we recently launched a number of projects in Europe where we see quite a significant benefit for the e-grocery players as well. So the particular situation we had in the reduction of the resources for the delivery is to combine the orders that you have for the marketplaces and the e-grocery platforms as well. So in our case is that when somebody is ordering from the e-grocery player, they receive this order in the dark store until we place the order in the dark store, which is usually used for the e-grocery delivery. And once your next purchase of the groceries for the evening is ready, we combine it in one shipment, and then one courier is delivering it to you. So that's how we actually cut the driving for the 50%, if we roughly calculate it. So we just simply combine two orders because of the network of the dark stores. We know how this process works, and we are successfully helping our customers as well. The safety control is another topic that we also wanted to highlight today, because increasing number of the transportation in the cities across the different urban environment, and also something that I've seen today in the city as well. So there are plenty of challenges that are faced by the drivers all the time. In this kind of chaotic traffic across the city, when everybody is in a rush and wants to be on time, because they have most of them actually on the road have the delivery promises, because this is what you see in the daily process here. So we are working both with hardware and software solutions, saying that we want to monitor, to analyze how the driving process is working, how we can make it compatible with the different vehicles, and how we can optimize the delivery process here. So it provides the information. So the data is the key in our century now. This provides an information to the different stakeholders that are involved in the process, and this is how they build the more efficient ways to plan the driving, and also not only in terms of the delivery process, but also in the public sector as well. One more topic is the self-driving and the rovers that we developed ourselves internally in-house. So this is already a live project, successfully working across the different cities in the different regions, actually, not only in Europe or in Asia Pacific, but also in the US, where we have implemented it for the university campuses, and there are some other plans to launch it now with the pizza deliveries and others. So in Moscow, of course, which is the home country for Yandex, we already have it in the city center delivering the e-grocery orders in 15 or 10 or 30 minutes. The fully autonomous robots that are driving across the business centers and the city centers, when they can transport the order which is ordered from the dark store nearby. The taxi, which is also based on the self-driving technology, is already running in Moscow as well. So here we are using it in more not that dynamic areas of the city because of the pilot phase, but there are still to come a lot of the announcement in the media where we can see that the driver is not that now required during the process of bringing from A to B. So what we would like to say is that we continuously work on the future of the mobility and the delivery process. We see that the e-commerce, e-grocery, and in general, the change of the consumer behavior is driving a lot of pressure now on the cities. And if we are working on the smart cities, if we would like to build sustainable and easy to use for everyone, not only for the consumer, and not only for the citizen, but also for the business, the technology is the key here. And there are plenty of opportunities for the improvement. And Yandex Technologies are working hard on this. For sure, we would like to bring a lot more to Turkey, and we are working on this. And it's my honor and pleasure to be here today. So this is one of the first steps when we start to collaborate with the different Turkish events and different Turkish companies, bringing the sustainable solutions to the city and to the country as well. So any questions, happy to answer and looking forward.